Okay, welcome to topic 3. Topic 3 is an important topic. We're going to talk about supply, demand, and how they affect each other. The first 3 topics, first 3 sections we're going through, we're going to focus strictly on demand. Then we will focus strictly on supply, and then we'll put them together. So, what is demand? If you look at this picture here, you've got a storefront, and they've put a picture of this beautiful gown. Some of you may say it's ugly, who knows? And that's going to create demand. Some people are going to go, ooh, I really, really want that. Or it could have the opposite effect where they go, ooh, I don't want that. Ooh, maybe I don't want to go in that store. So in topic 3.1, we're going to talk about how we're going to teach you the law of demand and how it affects price. Substitution effect, how that can influence decisions. You're going to learn how to draw a demand graph using a demand schedule and how those influence our markets. So let's talk about our vocabulary first. Demand. This is the desire to own something and the ability to pay for it. Now, I desire a Lamborghini. Actually, I really don't, but let's just say I did. I can't afford to pay for it. I'm a school teacher, so that's not demand. However, I desire a Diet Dr. Pepper, and I can't afford it, so I have created a demand for Diet Dr. Pepper because we're looking at demand as, is the Dr. Pepper company going to treat me as somebody buying their product and therefore they need to supply it? Lamborghini is not going to treat me as a customer because I can't afford it, so why supply me with one? Yeah, that's where the big difference in that comes from. Okay. Back to our terms. The law of demand. The law of demand states that when a good's price is lower, consumers will buy more of it. When the price is higher, they're going to do less. Okay, so what's this going to do? Move me here to the middle so you can see me. When price goes up, demand goes down. And think about that. If there's something you want and the price keeps climbing, what happens to your desire and your willingness to purchase it? It's going to go down. However, when price goes down, all of a sudden, maybe we want to buy it. If this Diet Dr. Pepper was $5 a bottle, I may want it, but I have no desire to pay $5. You drop it down to 50 cents, I might be buying 10. I'd probably buy 20, 100. I'd be buying a ton if they were 50 cents. If you know me and my Diet Dr. Pepper love. That's kind of like things going on clearance, things going on sale. You didn't want to pay full price for it, but now that it's on sale, it's down at a cheaper price. Demand goes up. That's why we do that sort of stuff. Okay. Substitution effect. The substitution effect pretty much just states that we can change our spending habits by substituting things. So if Diet Dr. Pepper went up to, say, $5 a bottle, maybe I would substitute for coffee because I need caffeine in the mornings. Income effect. This means this has a lot to do with like purchasing power. You can no longer afford to buy the same combination of goods, therefore you might have to cut back. If I have $10 a week budgeted for Diet Dr. Pepper, no, I don't. But if, let's say I did, and all of a sudden, if $10 got me 10 Diet Dr. Peppers, if all of a sudden they went to $2 a Dr. Pepper, that's $20. Well, if I don't have $20, I'd have to cut back and only get 5 Diet Dr. Peppers a week. It's income effect. Demand schedule. This is going to be a table. It's going to look like an XY table, 2 columns, that has the quantity of a good that a person will buy at each price in the market schedule. And then we can take that demand schedule and actually graph it. This is where your Algebra 1 comes in. We can actually graph a demand curve and show the relationship between price and quantity demanded. Okay, so anyone who's ever shopped, we've all been shopping. You know supply and demand. You know demand. This is common sense. You look at something, ooh, I love those shoes. I really want it. Happened to me on the internet. Saw these shoes, fabulous. Clicked on them. I'm buying these shoes. Price came up $250. Yeah, my demand for that good just plummeted to zero. $250 for shoes? Yeah, no. Not my budget. Price is way too high. Loved them. They were cute. Not for $250. So we've all been through that. So let's talk about the law of demand. And here is, again, same picture that we talked about in the beginning. I might look at that dress all day long. This looks like this is in New York, Philadelphia, some really fancy city. If that dress is $3,000, it's going to be one of those look but don't touch. It's pretty. I can look from afar, but I'm not spending that kind of money on a dress. So it doesn't necessarily create demand if we were marketing this, say, in a low-income neighborhood. That's why you don't see things sometimes. That's why if we go down to Brentwood, you see different things down in Brentwood because there's a demand down there for it. It's higher end, but we don't see them in Hendersonville because the demand's just, it's not there in Hendersonville. We're a little more, how do I say, conscious with our money and our purchases. Mm-hmm. So here is our law of demand. And basically, it's an inverse relationship. When prices go down, demand goes up. And think of that common sense. If the price of something that you wanted, it's too high, but the price goes down, your desire, your willingness and ability to purchase it are now go up. Same time, if the price goes up, then demand goes down. You're kind of no longer willing to purchase it anymore at that price. You might start looking for substitutes. Okay, here is how the law of demand can affect things. We're going to talk about apples. And we're going to talk about how it affects the income effect, substitution effect, and combined effect. So income effect, remember, this is my ability to be able to purchase things. Substitution effect, what happens? A change in price, is it going to make me want to substitute for something else? Or it might make me want to substitute apples for another product. It's two different scenarios. So let's look. Excuse me. If the price of apples increase, then that means I'm not going to be able to purchase as many apples as I did before when the price was lower. Again, use $10, nice round number. If $10 got me 10 apples and apples are now $2 each, now I can only pay 5 apples for the same amount of money. So I'm going to consume less apples. With my $10, I get 5 now instead of 10. Consumption of other goods is going to go down. Why? Well, because if I want to afford the apples, it's costing more money. Substitution effect. This goes down because I'm less likely to substitute apples for oranges or bananas. The price has gone up. Why am I going to go buy the higher priced item versus something that's cheaper? But this tells us consumption of other goods is going to go up. Okay, for a substitution effect, it's going to go up. Because if apples are $2 an apple and bananas are 50 cents each, that's about the same amount of food. I'm going to go buy bananas. The combined effect is going to be with the price increasing. It's going to decrease both our income effect and our substitution effect. However, it's got it goes both ways, inverse with the consumption. We are going to consume other goods because we're going to substitute it. However, we can afford, we're going to consume less of the actual apples. We're not going to substitute them for something else. Now, if the price of apples decreases, all of a sudden with my $10, instead of getting 10 apples, now I can get 20. Mm-hmm. Or, and here's where I'm going to be able to consume other goods. If I don't need 20 apples, I only need 10. I'm only paying $5 now. I've got $5 to go purchase something else. This is where I'm going to consume other goods. Okay, I've got money. Still only need 10 apples, but I got extra money. Yes, let's go buy a candy bar. Substitution effect. The substitution effect for apples is going to go up because if the price of apples drops, maybe I'm going to substitute those bananas for apples or oranges. Maybe I haven't had apples in a while. But the consumption of other goods is going to go down because I'm going to be substituting for apples. And when the price decreases, you can see both the income effect and the substitution effect are positive for apples. But when it's the consumption, we got one positive and one negative. It's inverse. It goes both ways. Okay, so the law of demand with the substitution effect and income effect really talks about how the price affects how much we demand. And again, you've been doing this ever since you've known what money is. If your grandparents gave you $5, what could you buy with that $5? You think about it. What all can you? Some things you can't afford to buy. You don't have enough money. So it's not demanded. Again, willingness to buy and ability. We want to buy it and we're able to buy it. So let's look a little more closely at how we look at demand. This is standing in line. Has anybody ever stood in line for something? I did. Garth Brooks concert one time, tickets. You see this Black Friday, people wanting those great deals on TVs and things like that. Well, the lower prices or the limited supply has created this demand. Football games, really big football games, can create that. This is a demand schedule. If you look here on the left, this is a demand schedule. This is one person's individual demand schedule. Okay, one person. So let's just say this is mine. If pizza is $1 a slice, I'm going to buy 5 slices. If it's $2 a slice, I'm going to buy 4. $3, I'm only going to buy 3, and so on. And you see, when it gets to $6 a slice, I'm out. It's too high. Now, if we look at the market demand here, market demand is going to be different. Market demand here, this would be, say, everybody in the class, me and all my students. If we're all going and ordering pizza, what would be the market for everybody in the room? And you can see here, the market demand is different from my individual. At $6 a slice, there's still 50 people wanting the pizza. But at $1, there's 300. So you might look at this like at a basketball game or the football games where you're selling concessions. What price can we price it at? And then you try to keep track of how much is going to be demanded so that you have, one, enough product to sell. You're not saying, ooh, we're out. And 2, you don't have a whole bunch left over that you're throwing away in the trash. That's the big key here. How can we maximize our profit but also keep our customers happy? So if you would have looked at Ashley's figures before, let's look at it and let's graph it as a demand schedule. Oops. So here is Ashley's demand schedule. We take this from that table we had earlier. And you've got, you can see at $6, it actually was me. I said it was me and my pizza. At $6, not willing to purchase any. At $5, 1 slice, $4, 2 slices. And this is the demand schedule. If we look at the market demand, we're just plotting that other table. And price is going to be your Y and quantity is going to be your X. Everybody should be able to graph one of these. Because again, you're just going back to here. This is my X. This is my Y. So at 5,1, there's a point. 4,2, there's a point. Okay. Now let's look here. Let me go to a whiteboard. This is something that you need to know. If I asked you to draw a demand schedule, oh, that's really horrible, isn't it? Let's clear that. Let's clear that and see if I can't make it any better. Yeah, I don't know if oh, there we go. There's a line. There's a line. Oh, nope. Leave it there. And now let's go this way. Okay, so there's my X and Y table. It's always going to be like that. This will always be quantity demanded. And we do a big Q with a little d. And this will be price. Always. Always. And if I asked you to draw a demand curve, you literally can go, ooh. It's always going to be up, downward sloping, or it can also be just a straight line. It's never going to curve upward. It never is. And that follows our law of demand. As price goes up, oops. As price goes up, quantity goes down. So more expensive, I sell less. As price goes down, this is the inverse. As price goes down, you can see prices going down, quantity goes up. So you need to know how to draw this. And if you're drawing it, I want you to be able to X, Y. You have to label the X as quantity demanded. The Y axis is always price, and it's going to be some type of curve or straight line. Always do a curve. Just because I'm not good at drawing, I don't want to do a straight line and accidentally make it bow out. So I always make it a curve. So make sure you know how to do that one. Okay. Now, back to our graph. Here is a livestock auction, and auctions are a great example of supply and demand. When you have a lot of people in the audience bidding on a price, a certain item, it's going to drive the price up because demand is great. But like for this bull here, if there's only one farmer that wants it, probably not going to get a high price because only one person wants it. There's no demand for it. It's going to keep the price low. And that is 3.1. Yay! Make sure you know how to draw a demand curve. It's the biggest part of 3.1. And see you for 3.2.